Welcome back, everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor, and I'm Jewel. And as you can see, we've made a lot of progress on the Jewel's Peaceful Valley map. We're going to go ahead and work on the house on the main farm today. But I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. We're going to go ahead and go toward there. I'll go ahead and click on it and hit F on the keyboard, as in Frank, and it brings us to the house. And as you can see, we got a little pond. Now that's not going to be there. That's just temporary. All this stuff in the air is temporary because I'm using it. So it won't all be there eventually. So, and this won't be painted like this either. So we're just working little by little. Alright, so this already has all the stuff set up pretty much, but we're going to be calling it from the XML, and this isn't, right now I haven't called it from the XML yet. So basically what you need to do is get the house from the uh, Elm Creek, or whichever one you're going to use, but if you're using a different one, then it would be a different process, because if you'll go look, let me go show you real quick. If you'll go look in the main game area, wherever you installed your game, go under Steam Library. In this case, for me, it's under D drive. Yours might be under C drive. Program Files 86, Steam, then Steam Apps, Common, and then you get to your main game installation, which mine was 19 for that. And then you just go from there, data, and so on. My case, it's D drive at Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Farm Sim 22, data, go to Maps, Maps US. If you look at the placeables XML document, right click, edit with Notepad++, you'll see this line of information. And this particular house is the main house on Elm Creek. So that's what I'm going to put on mine. I don't really, not really bothered about which house to put. And you can see it has the default farm property true, so you would need that for whatever house you put on the main farm, as long as you're just actually putting it on the main farm area. But basically you need this line of information, and then you're going to put it in your placeables XML. So we're going to go ahead and grab it while we're here and worry about the other part in a minute. So, and it tells you where that's at, where that XML is, and where that XML is where your i3D is also. It's got all three of them, so you could get them from there if you want, but typically I think I got it from the main game, opening it in the main game in Giants Editor, and then exporting it. So it's up to you, but right click on it, copy it, you can click off of it and close it. You don't need it open. And minimize this. We'll go to wherever your map is. Hopefully you put it where I put mine, in the Farming Simulator mods area, documents, my games, Farm Sim 22, and mods. And then this is my map I'm working on. And then you go under the XML. In my case, yours might say Maps, Maps US, and then Placeables XML. So wherever your XML is for your placeables, right click, edit with Notepad++, and as you can see, we got a line here of all kind of information that we've done. I've got videos out for all that, so go look back in the playlist if you want to learn how to do any of this. And basically we're just going to stick to this level here, right at the bottom of here. Click to the end, hit enter. It's going to keep us on these lines because we don't want to get between any of this stuff right here, and I don't particularly want to do any at the bottom. At this point I want to stay up here where these shorter lines are, and you're going to click here, right click, hit paste. It's going to put it in there. If it ain't lined up, you can click in front of that and then backspace it till it is if you choose. Then you can click in front of this F file name and then spacebar till it gets over, and then you can do that if you want. You don't have to. You can also do the same for the position, but just be careful not to delete any information. You need all these little things it has. And in a little bit we're going to change the numbers, and then we'll move the rotation. We're not going to do it yet because it's going to change. When we throw the numbers in there, this is going to push this way anyway. So we'll see. And then once you do that, you can hit save in the meantime if you want. but we still got to put the numbers in. We'll come back in a minute. But while we're here, before we bring the house in, we'll go ahead and go back to where we were. Okay, and we're going to go to the main game area. So D drive, and if yours was on C drive, you go there. Steam library, Steam apps, common, Barnstone 22, data, maps, maps US, and go down till you get to store items. Right click, edit with Notepad++. Now you're going to look around in here and see if you don't see the same one that you just added to your placeables, which is here, the farmhouse 02. So that's the one you're going to want to grab and put in your store items in your map that you're working on. Now if you're not calling all this, like if you're only using these other ones, you can just stick it in the My Desk and call it from here. You don't necessarily have to change all that. It just depends on how you want to do it. There's different ways. But in this case, I have a store items in my map, so we'll just grab it from here. It just really depends on how you want to do it. You can put it in a My Desk, or you can put it in the store items XML. So we're going to right click, copy, close, and then we're going to minimize, and then we're going to go to Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator 22, Mods, the map name you're working on. Then you're going to go find your store items or put it in your Mod Desk. There's the Mod Desk. If you put it in there, it looks like this, and it would look like this. You would need a line that looked like that. You would need a closed line that looked like that, and then you would need a line of information like that, which is the one we have. You would hit enter at the end of this to space down, and then you would right click at the beginning, and then you would paste it in there, right click, and then paste that information we just grabbed. But in our case, we're going to put it in the store items right here, edit with Notepad++. We're going to see if it's already in there, because I had this copied from the main game, and if it's in here, we don't have to worry. But if it's not, we would want to add it. So let me look for it, see if I see it. I don't think so. Yeah, it's there. So I technically don't have to add it. And if you already have it there, like if you copied it from the main game, then you put in your map, you don't need to necessarily re-put that in there. So what you could do in that case is just save it and get out if you already got it. But if you don't have it, you just click at the end of this, hit enter, and then you're going to right click, hit paste, and if you need to back it up, just stick it in front of there and backspace. And then you got it, and then hit save. So if you didn't have it and it was all empty or whatever, or you just didn't happen to not have it, then that's how you get it. But I'm going to delete it since it's already there. And I'm going to go ahead down one and backspace and hit save again. And so now we know we have our placeables XML, all but the numbers and the store items. So we know that part's good. So now we're going to go ahead and get back over here to this map. And since I already have it in here, I need to show you that, I showed it probably on a past episode, okay? So, but in this case, you can import. You can click import if you know where to go grab it, and which I do know where to go grab it. But I want to show you how to get it from the other area and see what all it brings with it. So let's go to D drive and then Steam library, because there's many ways of getting some of this stuff done. It's not necessarily, you're not necessarily bound to a 100% certain way on some things. So you would go through data, maps, maps US, and then the map icon, i3D, and then you would double click it and open it. And in this case, there is no house, so you would have to use that i3D, but I want to show you. But if it is, there are other things that would be there, and you could use that way. But most of the things that are XML from the placeables XML aren't going to show up in the Elm Creek map because they're XML. So they're not going to show up for you. They are only in the main game files that you got to go hunt down to get. But I'll show you for the new people if you don't understand. If it'll hurry up and open. Okay. There we go. Come along. Alright. So as you can see, where are we? Oh, I'm way off over here. Okay. Why y'all got me out over here? Put me back over here. Alright, now this is the main place. As you can see, the house is, that's the little area for the barn. The house would have went right here. Then this would have went here, and then there was a water thing over here. So anyway, and then that other building is XML. That is XML. And then this thing that would normally be there, there's like a little bridge or something somewhere. It might have been over here, or both. Either way, whatever that little bridge is, that is also XML. That swing that's over here, that's also missing. It's XML. So all those things are XML. And there's some other things that are as well. So you can see it's not in here and you can't get it from here. So this is not how you would get the house, is what I'm trying to say. But there are other things that you can get and export if you're going to use them. But in this case, those aren't. So we're going to close and hit no that you don't want to change to save anything in your main map. Now I'm going to take you through again D, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, FarmSim 22, Data, and then you're going to go to Placeables, Maps US, Farm Buildings, and then Farmhouse. There they are. Okay, so we're going to import that in the Giants editor. We can import all these things, and that's where they'll be when they'll be put in. And this right here, this is the XML we just put in our placeable that's calling for this. So if we'll look at our information, if it's still up, let me see. Let me see if it's this one. Okay, so this here is calling for data, placeables, map US, farm building, farmhouse, farmhouse 02. If you come and look at this, excuse me, alright, data, placeables, maps US, farm buildings, farmhouse, farmhouse 02. So see, that's the one that we put in there. It's calling that path to this file. And this file is going to call this I3D, which is the house. These are the attachments, okay, little things around the house. And these props are like the bike and things like that. So that's what we put in the placeables, is this XML document. Let's open it and show you. Edit with Notepad++, and it tells it the name. It tells it the store image. It takes it to the picture. It takes it to the i3D that I just told you, and it says use that i3D for the house. And then down here it says go get those attachments on that i3D and get those props on that i3D. So it's calling all that for you, and you don't have to worry about it once you have the XML in there. But you need it. You need at least the house, because you're going to need the numbers, and you don't have to add all these props. They'll add it themselves if you want them in the same spot, obviously, as the house, hooked to it, and however they had it set up. So we're going to close this, minimize this, and minimize this. Now that you understand, we're going to hit File, Import. We're going to take that path that I just showed you, go to Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, unless you got to go a different path, FarmSim 22 Data, Placeables, Map US, Farm Buildings, Farmhouse, and then pick the house. Okay, hit Open, and you're going to bring that in, and those are the numbers that you're going to use for your Placeables XML. So now you would take that while it's highlighted and hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, okay? Now you can see this one's turned around, okay, because it's just different than ours, so we had to do something with it, obviously. Let me try to shift myself so I can see. And you basically set it exactly how you want your house, wherever, however, whatever angle, whatever you need it to be, up, down, you know, fix it to the ground, get it all however you think it needs to be, like match the step level, match the doors if there's doors, or the outside you got steps, you could do away with them. As you can see, mine, I did away with them. They're underneath this, well, actually I lifted it up so that it would hit that deck. See? So you just do whatever you need to do to make it how you want it. You don't have to You know, you could even hide the steps underground, make it level, and act like there was no steps. You know, however you want to do it. Um, you know, it really depends on how you want to do it. And once you have it all set up, you'll see all those are the attachments and props. So, but I don't have to do it already positioned mine. You need to position yours however you need to do it. Once you're ready and you're like, yep, that's where I want it, I'm not moving it ever again. Then these are the numbers we're going to put in the placeables XML over here in the attributes area in the translate X, Y, and Z, rotate X, Y, and Z. Those are what we're going to get. So I'm going to delete this since I don't need this building. Okay, I'm going to click on my building, make sure the whole main group is highlighted. Okay, so, okay, in this case, it looks like I put the all three of these in a transform group, but you don't have to do that. You can just use the house one. You should just be able to use only the house one. In fact, we'll probably do both to show you. But anyway, what you do if you want to do it the way this one is hit create, and then do a transform group, and then you would title it whatever, farmhouse or whatever you wanted. And then when you brought that farmhouse in that we just brought in, import, and we brought that in, I'm going to bring it in again just to show you. Okay, so as soon as it comes in, alright, pretend this, let's go ahead and name it so I can explain it, but I ain't going to call it farmhouse. I'm just call it FM. Okay, that's farm. Okay, and then this I put into there, hold the middle scroll wheel down, button down, and then drag it in. And then I imported all the other things in there. Okay, so then when I clicked on here, I moved the whole group, and it moved all those things together, all those little props that stayed together. So in that case, I would be putting the main group because it has the numbers. The others would have zeros. So see, this would have 0. But if I moved this, which I could move, then that moved the house. You see what I'm saying? So basically, let me hit Control B. Control B. So see, that moved the house and gave me numbers. But if I open this, this one is 0 because I put it in a transform group. You see what I'm saying? But the numbers would be right. That would be the numbers that I needed. So in my case, I did do it separately, put all three in a transform group, but it didn't have to be done that way. I only did it because I wasn't doing the XML right then, and I was just looking at everything. But you don't need that. You just need the house imported, and it'll put the props where they belong. Okay, so what I could do, I'm going to do it separately. I'm going to pretend, let me back up. I'm going to take that out of here. So basically, this is going to be just like y'all brought it in without doing the transform group. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to show y'all how to do it without doing the transform group at all. So just with a house. So I'm just going to stick this house and drag it over here. Okay, now this one's going to stay there because I didn't put it as an XML. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that this is the house and how we're going to do it. Okay, so we'll just kind of halfway set it up. Okay, so we're going to pretend that's how our house is supposed to look, what we want it to look like. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to do that by XML, and I'm going to show you right now. So we're going to take these numbers, translate X, and I'm going to hit Shift, Control, and C, as in cat, and then let go, and go back to my Notepad++ where I put that farmhouse XML line of information in my placeables XML area under the position, and I'm going to highlight that and right click and click paste. Now I'm going to move over so I can see and put this here and hit the rotation over to line it up. You don't have to, but you can. And go back to the Giants editor and grab after the rotate X at the end of the numbers, hit Shift Control C as in cat, go back to the Notepad++ and do the same in the rotate box in between the quotation marks, right click and click paste. Now you're good. You got all that. Now hit save. Okay, so now what's going to happen, minimize, this house here is going to show up right there, okay, in game. But first I'm going to show you, this one is too, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, what you would do if you don't want two houses, and I'm not talking about this house right now, I'm talking about this house. This house is going to show up either way because I did not uh, put it in XML, and I have not put it in the placeholders folder because it's out of the placeholders folder so you can see it. Okay, this one we're going to either delete because we just now put it in the XML to say for it to call those numbers from that main game. So these numbers here tell that XML where to put this house on this map. Okay, so what you need to do is delete this house now or put it in a placeholders folder. And a placeholders folder is simply a folder that says placeholders. And let me collapse all this. Get back down to the placeholders folder right here. Here's the placeholders folder. It's got all that in it. Okay. Now, open it up. Well, I ain't gonna open it. I'm gonna leave it shut. Now, if you don't want to delete this, put it in placeholders folder. If you don't know how to make a placeholders folder, watch my video about it, and you can do it. It's real easy. It won't take long. And you're gonna click on the house, the whole group, hold middle mouse button. Don't let go. Push up with the mouse while you're holding that middle mouse button down over the placeholders and let it go. Okay. Now you need to make this placeholders, and that's the information you need, but it's more detailed, so go look at the video. I don't want to keep repeating it, but come down here, you see your house is in there. Now it's hidden. You say, well, no, it's not. I can see it. Well, it's hidden in the in-game. Okay, so when you go inside your game, in Steam or wherever you got your game, you're going to see this house, but you're not going to see this particular house. This house that you see in Giants Editor is going to be hidden. The only house you're going to see is the house that you called from that XML by putting those numbers in your placeables XML that calls the main game XML house, which calls the i3D, which I just showed you. So that's the only one that you're going to see in game. Now this one back here, you're also going to see in game because we did not put it in an XML folder yet. I will have to, and later, and you will see it, but it's not going to be called from the main game. It's called from its own thing right here. It's going to be in here. It's not in a placeholders folder or anything. See what I'm saying? So it's going to be, you'll see both of these houses. This one's not in XML. It's not going to be called from the main game. You're seeing it because I put it in the map from an i3D in my map. It's in my map. And the outside of the folder, you know, inside the folder of my map, basically. Outside of the main game. And then this one is in the XML. So what I'm going to do is go on in game and show you it's there. And then we'll switch it and show you that you can grab it from this whole group. If you did it this way and put it all in a group because you've seen them all and you're like, oh, they're not all there. And if you made a group for it, then you're going to use the group numbers, okay, to get to put in the XML is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just letting you know you don't have to use the group, but if you did already use the group, then you can use it, the whole group, transform group at the top, not down here. You wouldn't use the house because it'd be zeroed. You would need those numbers. Alright, we're going to go on in game. We're going to hit save. And remember, delete it once you're done. If you don't want to put it in the placeholders folder, delete that house and hit save. Now I'm going to put the career start point here. Control B as in boy, left mouse click. And we'll just spin it around a little bit and hit save so we can go straight in front of it. Alright, as soon as that hits save, we're going to go and show you. I'm just showing you there's different ways. It's not necessarily wrong or whatever. You can do it however. As long as you're getting the numbers you need, you're getting it in there. That's the point. Even if you didn't have any of those numbers, you could put a transform group down and get numbers for a basic area. Even if you didn't have it perfect, you could plop something down on there with those numbers. It just depends, but you wouldn't get it exactly level where you wanted it probably. But alright, so let's go delete this one. Let's see, we'll Let's delete number 12 this time for now. Continue, continue. Alright, there we go. Should take a second to load because I haven't loaded it in a bit. But I appreciate everybody. I hope you're enjoying. I hope this is helping you make some sense of some of the XML work, so you can understand that not every way is wrong. It's just different. So like I see a lot of different things. You know, sometimes there's more than one way to do things, and it may not be the best way, but it's a way. And sometimes people's doing other things first. So as you can see, like I had all those three in a group. That was just so I could have it there, not because I didn't care about doing the XML when I put it in there. I was just putting it in there. So I want to see everything and decide everything. If you didn't want all of that, you would need to do a whole custom house without that information in it, because no matter how you do it, if you added it from the main game, it's going to put those props in there because they're in that XML, that thing that's calling the i3ds. So if you don't want all that stuff there, like the bike and all, then you got to do it differently. You need to bring in just the house and then add the stuff, and it's just a bunch of different steps you could do. So, but we got the house in there, and you can see it's not the one. See, and then if I go back here, we got the other house. See, but this one is in here because I didn't put it in the XML, the placeables XML. I just used the i3D and put it in my map. But we don't want to put a bunch of stuff in our map if we can call it from the end game. And so this one will be in the XML, and see it has the icon. See, the sleep icon. See, so I gotta set mine up so I'll have my sleep icon, and the way I'm going to do that is to use that whole transform group, because I had happened to have used one to put all three of those icons, i3ds in it. So it'll give me the same exact numbers as this house would if I had brought it in like this. My only point in showing you it without the transform group is to show you that it brought all that stuff in there. So it brings it in regardless. It brings in all those little things, like the extra stuff, this and all those little things on the porch, because it's in the XML. Mine didn't. I had to bring all that in separately because I wasn't worried about doing the XML at the time. I was just working on doing, bringing in the house, and I thought, well, let me throw all this stuff on there too, just see what it looks like, decide if I wanted to keep it or not. So I will still have to bring it in through the XML. Alright, so let's go on out and show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and do it so you can see. So we'll delete that house, because I don't want that, obviously. And then I'll put in the other one through XML. That's just my dog shaking off, if you can hear it. So this will make sure the whole group's highlighted and hit delete, so I don't need that. And now, same information. It's already where I want it, so all I gotta do is click on it, make sure the whole group is done, and it is, but that's not the one. I need the main one. And why do I need the main one? Because I had put it in a transform group. Okay, and that one is the one I moved. I didn't move the house. Now, if I had made a transform group, okay, and then I moved the house itself, and it had those numbers that this has here, then I would have used the house. But in this case, I didn't. I put them all in here so these pieces would be together, okay, in the right spots, and then I moved the main group, okay, and it moved all three i3D information, all the props, all the attachments, and the house together, because I put it in here and moved them. Otherwise, I would have had to move them separately if I was going to do it that way, but you really didn't need to, because like I said, all you needed was the house, which I showed you. So my point is simply, I can still get my information that I need without deleting all the stuff I brought in. I can just use the farmhouse transform group, because it's the main thing that I moved, and the rest all say 0 for the most part. Well, some of them don't, but that one definitely does, and you don't want to use that. You want to use this one. So we're going to get these numbers and see if it works, and you'll see what I'm saying. Alright, shift control and C as in cat. We're going to go back and go back over the top of the farmhouse line on the position, and we're going to paste it over these numbers, and then we're going to do the same. Whoop, wrong place. Giants editor, and then do the rotate. X, shift control, C as in cat. Go back to the Notepad++, do this on the rotation, up to there, right click and paste. Then hit save, and now we need to, in this case, we need to put it in the placeholders folder. So I need to take that whole group, okay, just because of how it's set up, and I technically could delete all of it out of there, but it's still hiding it. I can just delete this whole thing right now. I don't even have to put it in the placeholders folder, but if I want to see it in the Giants editor to work on it, around it, then I need to put it in a placeholders folder. Otherwise, it's going to be gone, and I won't know where the house was at when I'm painting and stuff. So that's why people use the placeholders folder, so that it's not showing up double in game, but it will keep it in here for you to work around it. So we're going to hit the middle mouse scroll wheel, and we're going to hold it down, and then we're going to drag down until we get to the placeholders folder. And we're going to let go. Okay, so there we are. Let go. Put it in there, and go see, and it's in there. Okay, so now it's going to hide it, this one, and the only one that we'll see is the one from the XML. So we're going to hit save, and we'll go back in game, and you'll see that this also works, and that you're good. So now we're going to go back. We'll go ahead and go under the same number we went under last time, which really doesn't matter. And we'll get through. But I appreciate everybody. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel, and I appreciate you. If you've gotten help from the channel, it just helps everybody find the video when more people hit the like button and subscribe. So it helps others. Okay, so here we go. Jump in, and we'll be through. But I got a lot more coming. We've done quite a bit. You need to look back if you need to learn some of that other stuff you saw in the placeables XML. Just look back. There's some videos on it in my playlist, so you can find each step, you know, most of them in there. I think there's only one or two that a couple that I haven't shown yet on that particular placeables XML. So we're going to go on in, and there's the house, and look, now we have a sleep trigger. So I'm going to run up here, and the house is where I had it, and now we got our sleep trigger, and it works. And I'm not going to go to sleep, but you get the point, it works. And we got all our little stuff here still, and it's where it was supposed to be, see? And I had already adjusted most of it, and I still got to adjust the ground a little bit, because I never did finish that. I kind of quit on that, but you can see that for the most part, it's where I wanted it. And I wanted that like that. That's how I set it up. So as you can see, everything is where it would be. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be it. You can see all the props are there. We got all the porch stuff that was in the other one. Ceiling fans, the flag, and everything. But anyway, I'm going to call that an episode. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe. Turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.